What's up, y'all?
Well, yeah, talking about baby seems like a good place to start because that episode was filmed from such unique angles and all in the car. How was that experience?
It was certainly different and unique. I mean,
it was the first ever in 200 and something episodes that we shot like
ever
that.
Done something
it was a brand new style.
We've done, we've done things that have, for us seen that was similar to that, but certainly have never shot an entire show like that.
Right.
So there was a bit of a learning curve, and I think once Tom figured out how he wanted to do it, then it was just getting used to that setup and getting because a lot of camera guys would come in. It was all rigging. Normally it's lighting that takes a long time to set up.
Yeah, normally lighting.
They plop the camera there, put the right lens on it, and then everybody goes into lighting mode. And it's putting a light over there, putting a fill back there.
We don't go into lighting mode.
We go into our trailer. But
Jensen's not like fixing lights. And I'm holding up flops.
Although I would. So anyway, so that's usually what kills the most time on set is lighting. But here, Serge basically just lit the car as best he could, and then that was his job for the day was over, essentially. And it was all became into attaching the cameras to the car and rigging them so that they wouldn't move. And then they'd be like, okay, see you later. And he and I would just take off. And with no crew and no nothing and so there will probably be a lot of outtakes and a lot of a lot of B-roll of him and I just
around
shooting the shit in
the
Impala. In fact, one of the shots that they used in the trailer was just us getting ready to start the scene.
Oh, it's probably
with the big blast of sunlight through the back of the thing. I turned and looked at that. I was like, oh, that's going to hurt the cameras and stuff. But it ended up being a really cool flare, and they ended up using it. So
I was struck by the scene. So y'all have seen it, but where we pull out at the very end and Amara's behind us. So for my coverage, they had to put a bounce, a lighting and a bounce, so I couldn't see I couldn't see out because there was a big bounce, and it was totally wigging me out. It totally freaked me out. And he's of course like, is it scaring you? Like hauling ass. It's weird that you can't look forward. Even sitting as a passenger, you kind of glance forward to make sure you're not about to hit something.
Well,
I know it's fine.
It was really weird when I would have a full camera rig because they take the window out, the windshield, and they would just mount a big camera right on the hood, and it was probably this close from my face. Well, I'm driving on an actual road, and I'm driving a real car, and I have real live passengers, and I basically my focal is completely gone, so I'm using peripheral vision to actually drive the car. Trying not
and the screaming of like passerbys.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Hey, asshole.
Hey, Supernatural. So it was certainly an experience filming.
I can't wait to see the scene that takes place at night after the scene with Dad, where we wake up and we're kind of just sitting in the car. And that, I think, when I read the script, I was like, what a cool, we never see the boys do this stuff, and I can't wait to see it. But that to me, I was like, that should be something we do more often. We usually have to come to God, like in the Middleletter's library or something, and it's always fun.
Or sitting on the hood of the car.
But what a cool glimpse into the Winchesters, how they travel. Right? We're not getting a motel every night. It's going to be, hey, don't want to waste the money, crash in the car, and wake up and kind of head out.
Yeah, the story was great. Robbie did a great job writing it, and Tom did a great job directing it.
And Tom, who's back directing episode 10
Tom's directing right now.
And he's one of our ringers. He's
go-tos.
Been around a while, and so I think it was great to have him do the baby episode because he was able to plan it out in his head. And it was even though we had done a few shots using that rig setup, to do it all like that, I think really required somebody with a steady hand, and a lot of stuff I think caught us off guard, but we kind of just rolled with the punches. And a little bit of improving, which is always fun, and the boys singing in the car, and it should be
It was cool. I'm glad you guys liked it.
After the episode actually airs, can you talk about working with Matt again and how that conversation is going to impact Sam and also Dean and Sam's relationship going forward?
I'm going to really quickly. Jensen, can you take this one?
Yeah, I got
it. I love Matt. Supernatural is such a unique show because even though he hasn't been on the show in 5 years, we still see each other several times a year. I don't see my brother 5 times, 10 times a year, but I see a lot of our guest cast that's been on the show. And so he's a buddy. He just became a dad. I mean, most of the time they call cut. We'd be like, so what's going on? How's the baby? Blah, blah, blah. How's the wife? But it was great because I only had maybe 2 scenes with him, other than this scene in Baby. You know, I had a little bit when we show up to the door and it's Dad and Mom. Okay, I had a few more than 2 scenes with him, but it was it was fun for Sam to play. So I was like doing a mental check. It was fun for me to play that part of Sam. Sam's not often really caught off guard like that. He's been through a lot. You know, he's been to hell and to heaven and to purgatory, and he's died and killed, and so Sam's not often sort of caught, you know, totally off guard. And so that was a fun kind of direction for me to go with him. And I love Matt. And he was, what's funny is on the call sheet, his name was, they didn't want to put Matt Cohen, so they put Leonard Cohen in case anybody picked it up. And I was like, oh, that's not going to be suspicious. Like, oh, Leonard Cohen is doing a guest spot on Supernatural. He's going to play the troubadour.
Next week, Bob Dylan.
But it was great. He's a great actor. He brought something great to the character. And it was a really neat kind of thing to do, to use him instead of use Jeffrey D. Morgan, who I also love, because it kind of put Sam in an even more awkward position. You know, this wasn't the dad that he knew. He met later in life, but it wasn't the dad that he knew, so it kind of had Sam really unawares, which set up the scene I was talking about where he wakes up. So it was just such a well-thought-out script and a well-executed script. The guest cast is phenomenal, and I had a great time.